everybody, welcome to the Geriatric Millennials. This is Beth.
And this is Jayme.
And we're just two oldish, youngish ladies talking about what's surprising us about being middle-aged. Which is so weird that we're middle-aged, but we are legit middle-aged.
It's true.
I think they just came out with the new number of like what the life expectancy is in the United States. And it moved up. I think it's now like 70, it's either 77 or 79. I can't remember.
Okay.
So like if you do the math, we are definitely...
We're on the other side of...
We're on the other side of it.
Middle.
Yeah,
we're not right smack dab in the middle anymore.
We're not middle-aged, but we're middle-aged. But some people, I like it too though when people are like, I'm 60, I'm just hitting middle-age. I'm like, hate to break it to you. But you're in season 4, okay? You're in almost the final chapter, so hope you're living it up. And if you're 66 right now and I just said that, please do not be offended. Just live your life fully and enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, not everything has been surprising because it's not like we didn't know about it. What is actually surprising is that it happens to you too.
Yes.
It's not just like this thing that you're like, oh yeah, that happens to middle-aged people. You're like, wait, why is this happening to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I remember my mom being middle-aged. Like she must have been in her I would have said middle-aged, but she's like her 30s and 40s. But and I'm a teenager. I'm like, okay, you're freaking old. And now I'm like, oh, she was not old at all.
Right.
But she would say how when she sees herself in the mirror, she still sees herself as like in her 20s or her 16-year-old self. And I was like, that's freaking weird because you got wrinkles. And now I realize because I see myself much younger. I see the younger version, the girl version of myself a lot of the times. And I'll look in the mirror like, excuse you?
You mean when she looked in the mirror, she did?
Yeah, like when she looked at herself in the mirror, she didn't always just see like, oh, this woman in her late 40s with kids and whatever. She just saw the girl she always was. You kind of just...
Yeah. The changes are very gradual for yourself.
But I also see that in my friends. When I take a close look at my friends, I'm like, oh, girl, you've aged.
Yeah.
Or if I see a picture of us when we were young, I'm like, oh, shoot. Like there's a picture we posted when we did our 2016 episode.
Yeah.
Or 2006. I can't remember.
We've definitely aged.
And I was looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, we were like babies. And I was like, oh, but I still see us that way.
Right.
But then I also will open my eyes and be like, but I got a giant crease in my forehead now that you can see. Yeah. And so it's just one of those things that's just like, oh, okay. Like people are perpetually, the age I kind of knew them at. And then you see them and you're like, oh my gosh, you're like a grown up.
Yeah. That is one of the weirdest things is seeing somebody that you haven't seen in 10 plus years and then putting them together in your mind that they're the same person.
Yeah.
Because they don't look like the same person. You're like, dang, that person's really aged. And then you're like, wait I must have too.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like, not me though. Not me. It's like the delusional ladies on the TikToks that have, that keep doing these things like, how old do you think I am? I'm only 40. People are like, ma'am, you look 80. People are vicious. But there are some people on there that like, they are younger than me and or us. And I'll look at them like, you guys look older than us, in my opinion. But like, I don't know if that's real or not. You know what I mean? I don't know if my eyes are lying to me.
I don't know. They probably are. Speaking of eyes, I've said this before, but that's one of the most surprising things for me is the change in my eyes. And I feel like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And I'm really annoyed by it because by the time evening comes, it's like my eyes can't focus properly on things. Mm-hmm. And I wear contacts and I'm going to have like a new prescription or something soon for those contacts because I just have to be more prepared and start wearing my glasses around my neck or something. You know what I mean? Like
that sounds awful.
It does, but the eyeball situation. What the heck? I really didn't know.
A switch flips in your 40s.
Flipses.
Yeah, all of a sudden it really is like 30s fine. All of a sudden one day in my 40s it's like
dim lighting.
Forget it.
On my phone. This is where I'm noticing it the most is my phone is in the evenings and I'm like, wait, why can't I see? Why can't I focus on this?
The best. So Jayme and I. And
what are you going to do? Are you going to say something?
No, we were at a trivia night together and it was a restaurant, but it wasn't even like a crazy low light restaurant. And we were there was like a visual clue.
It was dim.
It was a little bit dim, but it wasn't like a dark restaurant. And they had a visual cue like around the pictures,
a piece of paper with pictures printed on it,
and it was I had to get a flashlight out so we could look at it in detail.
Like take a picture and zoom in because you can't do that on a real piece of paper.
But it was just too dark. It was just like, oh, I need more light here.
Yes,
and I was like, that's just tragic. Well, and again, I've succumbed to I have readers around my house now. There's just reading glasses everywhere.
Too.
I realized that my willingness to take any physical risks has really gone down. And I really think about things. I have multiple step ladders in my house. And the other day, my counters are granite and they're sturdy and all that. And I had to my cabinets are very tall and I'm short. And so I can't reach the top shelf at all. I can barely meet the second top shelf. Anyway, so I had to put a glass up and I didn't want to go get the step ladder. I can just jump up on the counter and just put it up.
Girl, why are you putting your glasses up that high?
Because they were specialty glasses that I never used, the fancy ones.
Okay.
And it's just
I'm those everyday glasses need to be within reach.
No, everyday glasses are on the lowest level. Okay.
Mine are in a drawer.
I'm barely reaching at this point. But and my counters are they're tall for me. I'm a short person. So anyway, I hoisted myself up and I got up there, but it was the getting down. I'm okay, we need to be real strategic because you can't just jump down because you die. Your knees are going to buckle and go out. So I'm trying to get down, but it's I holding myself up. I can't touch the ground with my foot. There is a small drop because my legs are short. And anyway, I was just okay, please be very careful. We're thinking about our shoulder placement because we don't want to slip and have it go out and we don't want to fall on our ankle wrong. And I was this is crazy. I'm next time just get the step ladder because it feels much safer than this.
Yeah.
But it's something I would not have thought about 5, 10, 15 years ago, ever. Just jumping on the counter and just doing the thing.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we all know I'm a dancer, right?
Yep.
And there are times when I'm in a group dancing and people start going low.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? You're just you're going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I'm dude, that's just, I'm just not there. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I don't feel that's, my knees are protesting. They're just, it's yeah, you don't need to go low. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
I was at a store with a friend. It was a cosmetic. It was Ulta. And we were looking for lipstick, whatever. And there was some things on the lower shelf that we needed to squat down to investigate. And that was an issue for both of us. We were what? I'm not sure about this. And then it was you were down there for a little bit and then you got to stand up. And it kind of hurts. What is up with that?
The thing, one of the things that has gotten me is the fact that I can no longer sit in chairs the way I want to sit in chairs. I love to sit crisscross applesauce. I love to sit with one knee up, and I'll be doing that. I'll be playing a game. I'll be watching a show, and then time to get up. Oh my gosh. It is first of all, my foot is numb. The one that's been sat underneath, the hip is, sore. I stand up and I have to assess. And then I start off with a little shuffle just to make sure everything's okay. And then it's just sometimes I'm hobbling and I'm cool. I mean, I'm just not allowed to sit like this anymore.
Nope, I guess not.
That's not fair.
Also, what the heck is up with the shifting of the body, positions of things and it's my body feels it's kind of rearranging in some ways. Why are things migrating to my midsection? That seems weird. That wasn't the thing for me in the past. What's happening on the side of my face? Why are these things starting to
the jowls are popping?
Yes, and why is my skin loose in areas? Why is there no why? So I've talked about underwear before, right? And wanting to not have panty lines show and stuff like that. If I'm wearing underwear that has elastic really, around the butt cheek area, I mean, it takes very little for it to really make an indent. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's ridiculous.
It's very little. It needs to be there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be an indent.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's the weirdest stuff.
What the heck?
The way that the skin thins. Because when I see old pictures and I see my old college and I'm oh my gosh, that girl was glowing. And now the amount of creams and potions I have to slather to get a healthy glow. I mean, maybe it's my water intake. Who knows? But also under my eyes, I just can feel is it paper thin? It feels paper thin. And it's just what is happening?
Yeah. So lots of body changes, obviously. Some of them more surprising than others.
I was shocked at how many supplements I take now. And my doctor recommends, I was at the doctor recently and we were talking about joint pain and she's like, okay, I need you to go pick up these 2 supplements at the Costco and be taking them. Have I? Not really. Because they're like horse pills and I can barely swallow them. So I'm going to have to get a pill cutter to cut them down just so I can.
Really?
And all of these pills, because they're like collagen-y type thing, like good stuff for your joints, all of them are like, you don't just take 1, you take 6 a day or something crazy. You're just like,
word.
It's just like, I can't live like this, but also I guess I have to buy joint juice. Like what's happening?
Okay. Some things I feel have surprisingly gotten easier.
Okay.
And have surprisingly gotten harder.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not that surprising, but okay, so for me, something that's actually gotten a lot easier as I've gotten older and into middle age is like saying no and having boundaries.
Oh, yeah. Which is nice.
Yeah. It's so much easier than it used to be.
I one of those boundaries that I love now is the friendship boundary of just like, I used to always just think relationships were forever. Like, with like students, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be at your wedding and blah, blah, blah. This 15-year-old, we're all excited and whatever. Like the, people from college and high school, oh my gosh, we're going to know each other forever. And it's now I'm just like, cool, we know each other for a season. And now I'm like, one day I'll see you on the street and I'll pass you as a stranger. But it's cool because we had a good ride.
Right.
And that's been freeing.
Yeah.
For sure. But the saying no is huge.
Yeah, and I'm not as concerned about pleasing people, as I used to be in terms of saying no or having boundaries. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's
like if there's a problem, then that's their problem, and it's not mine.
I love not feeling bad for saying like people like, oh, do you want to come? No.
Yeah,
no,
and don't worry about it.
Yeah, and recognize it. Like I would say 99% of my friends don't care. They're like, okay, cool. Like there's no pressure. There's no peer pressure in that way of like, oh no, we have to do it all together and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I really like that kind of. Okay. It's a different boundary because I'm saying yes to a lot of things in the sense of like, I give myself permission to buy whatever I want now. And within reason, like I'm not a baller, but I will go to the Costco sometimes on like a Friday or whatever. And I've had a long week. I'm like, Beth, you can buy anything you want today. Anything you want at the Costco, you can buy, or anything where I'm at. I'll just like, you could buy anything you want in here. I'll go to the grocery store and it's just like, you can buy anything you want. And it kind of, maybe it's a psychological, like, I don't know, trick I'm doing because I end up just buying the necessities, or like if it's a real splurge, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this new granola. It's $12, but it's just that freedom of like, I think it's the financial freedom I have now, which is really nice at this stage in the game.
That is amazing.
I think that, thankfully it's gotten to a place where I'm not in my 20s. We've talked about before how it's so hard in your early 20s and you're setting up life. And it's just nice not to be in that phase where it's like a meal out isn't going to break me. And it's just so nice to be able to like buy the name brand thing. Or if you want to have a cocktail or try, it's like, oh, I want to get an extra appetizer. It's just very nice to be in that place.
Well, I was going to say something kind of opposite of that. And that is that what's gotten harder is actually saving money for us in this economy and with kids and with teenagers. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it is actually a lot harder to save money for, and maybe that has to do with like my habits. I don't know, but I feel like it's harder to save money now than it was when I was younger. When I had no children.
I think that there's
I think there's a direct correlation to that.
I mean, there might be something there.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's different too, like trying to save for the future and save for big stuff than, I feel like you're good. Like you have your daily stuff, it's whatever, but it is hard to like the big things. Yeah. Well, and I want to say too, like it also is the pressure right now of like, oh crap, I got to think about retirement. You know what I mean? I think that's something that really hits in your, hopefully earlier for some people. But for me, it was the 40s. I was like, oh, shoot, I don't want to work till I die. So I got to start, saving and whatnot. So, but that's been a little bit harder to like start stomaching like, oh, shoot, like there's going to be a point where I stop working and that I might need some assistance and I might need blah, 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 blah. So
yeah. I don't want to think about that.
No, I'm not going to, not for another 20 years. I'm going to be, let me just say, I'm going to be saving for retirement, but not thinking about it.
Okay, so something that's gotten easier for me is actually cooking. And it's probably just because I've had more practice. But it used to stress me out so much. It really did. And now it doesn't nearly as much. So that's good.
That's one of my goals this year is to be a better cook. I've been trying to cook more at home and bake and things. And I want to have it where I am not embarrassed to like bring something to someone's house. Like I have a signature dish
That you made.
that I make. Yeah. Because it's like, I look at some of my friends and they've had beautiful families and all of this stuff, but they are the primary person that cooks. So they've been cooking like for the last, 15 to 20 years,
Right.
almost every meal. And they have like a repertoire of stuff that works. And then there's me that's like, nah, like,
Right.
I just
hear
haven't,
you.
I haven't had that. And it's just different. It's just different. And
Right.
especially because I don't have to like ever think about anybody, there's tastes or
Right.
what they will or won't
Yeah.
eat. So
I can't imagine that life.
yeah, because then you just stay in your lane and you're like, okay, I like this for this long. It's like I'm gonna eat the same thing for breakfast for every day for 6 months, and I'll be over it, and I'll do something else. I don't have to think about. It's not that deep. So, and I can do a lot of girl dinners. Like so many times, I just make snacks, for dinner because I'm like, I'm good. I had, a little baby charcuterie, and by charcuterie I mean string cheese and some saltines, and it's just like I'm good. So anyway, it's just different.
It is different. I think it's been harder in midlife to keep up with technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep up, dude. Like because there were so many years I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't need to be on a computer for any reason. And so like having to now be on a computer for different things has been more of a challenge. Also because like I don't really enjoy that type of stuff. And just there's always like new apps and updates to your phone and this and that, and just trying to keep up with like which button does what and how, like I feel like I'm always constantly learning because it's changing and all the time. And you probably don't have this because you've had the same issue because you've always been like up on the technology, but I haven't. And I feel like it makes me feel old. It makes me feel like I am like not with the times because I'm not.
So I stay up with technology to a point, but I'm also at the point of like technology fatigue where we were analog. And then I feel like we're the generation that, and I think they say it too, we're the generation that's like the only generation that was analog childhood, digital, and we've adopted every single technology that's come in, and it's just like, it's annoying. And sometimes the thing that gets me the most is like new platforms. So it's like, I never really learned how to use Twitter because I didn't like the platform of it all. But then it's like, it sucks because I never learned it. So I don't really know. I don't get it. And I wouldn't use it now anyway. But it's like, there's a point where a lot of people were switching to Slack, which is like I don't know if you know what Slack is. Yeah. But it's like, I just didn't like the format. And my brain was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I will just IM you because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the Slack. So I think that's where it gets me is like platforms, especially like a lot of times too, like there's so many new social media platforms that come out like, oh, this is going to be one that's everybody's moving to. So I'll jump on it. And like, yeah, I hate it and I want to learn it. So I get that. Like there's just a point too where it's like, I don't want to integrate like ChatGPT into my everyday life. Like I use it when I need it, for certain things, but I'm just like, whenever it's like AI, I'm like, I don't want that in my everyday life. And I get real annoyed when companies decide to like change apps or discontinue things. I'm like, I'm gonna have to learn a new service. I don't want to.
I know. Yes,
So,
that's what I mean.
Like, I just don't want to.
Okay, this one is surprising to me because it's kind of backwards. So for me, something that's gotten easier in middle age for me is wearing high heels.
Really?
Because I never wore them before middle, only very rarely and occasionally. And so I didn't really own many and I would like hate them. I hated them because they were so uncomfortable and just whatever. But because I have to wear heels for dance class, I've gotten more used to it. And I'm not saying that I wear heels any other time other than if I'm going to go dancing, but I can do it. And it's easier.
Are you wearing dance shoes though?
Yes.
I think that's the key.
It is
Because
certainly,
I think
but I also have like a pair that's not because I'll wear that to like then change into my dance shoes kind of a thing. And I can actually wear them
now.
Like much. Yes.
But I feel like your foot has been trained. And I think
that's what I mean.
And I think you got trained in like that's one thing. like the heels that they try to like push on us a lot of times are not heels that are like easily walkable and stuff. I saw this lady and she was promoting this shoe on TikTok where she went back and looked. She was like, women in like the 50s and 40s wore heels all the time. And they wore them every day. They wore them to the office. You saw them wearing them all the time. And she's like, how are they doing that? Because a lot of the heels today are just not meant for that.
Weren't they low heels? Like
they were a chunkier
like
heel. The way
2
they
inches.
were, but the way they were cut were like in line with what your foot could handle for the day, and that were supportive and whatever. They weren't like these stilettos or whatever. And so she started making like retro shoes, basically, in that to make them where you could wear the shoe all day. Did I think the shoe was cute? Not so much, but I'm also not like a retro shoe girly, and I'm not a heel girly. But I could see where it would be like beneficial to like, hey, let's reevaluate and be like, hey, some of the shoes are great for just sitting.
Yeah.
But like for practical everyday women that are not a celebrity just wearing shoes on the red carpet, like what could we wear that's like super cute but like functional and fits if you don't have the perfect narrow foot to go into like a Louboutin?
Yeah. I'm just so grateful that sneakers have become fashionable for the girls to wear with their prom dresses and all of that. Like this younger generation has figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
I love that for them.
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to have a lot less bunions. So when it comes to younger, one thing that really gets me is that basically now if you're under the age of 30, to me, I call you a kid and I look at you as a child, and I feel so bad sometimes. But it was at the Super Bowl I really recognized, because I didn't really watch this. I put the Super Bowl on because I knew people would be talking about it. And I wanted to watch the halftime and the commercials and stuff, which I didn't even watch half of it. I was like cleaning my house. Anyway, but I saw the little quarterback guys come on for each team. And I was like, oh, they look like little babies. And then the guys are like 22-year-old, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, 22.
I think he is kind of exceptionally young, but
both of them were in their 20s. One was 20, and I thought I misheard. So then I'm on the Wikipedia reading about them. Like, these are little babies. All this, and it stressed me. I'm like, all this pressure on these young boys out here playing. And even though like young. A lot of the guys, I saw like the Seahawks right before the Super Bowl had done this thing where they were going up to their players like, oh, what year were you born? And most of the guys were like 2000 and something. And then there's a couple guys that were like, they'd say 19, and then they just pause the tape and put like an old timey video or something up, like making fun of the fact because they're so old because they were born in the 1900s. But I was like, so many of these boys could be my child.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, and it's just so strange because like it has really shifted in the last couple of years. Like none of these people are attractive at this point. Like I can be like, oh, I can objectively say, oh, that's a handsome young man. Yeah, it's a cute kid. Oh yeah, he's a little haughty. But it is not like how I would have thought about it 20 years ago.
No, absolutely
not.
not.
They're a hottie,
which is
is great.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah, I wish we would tell more. I'm not going to call out all men, but there's a lot of guys in their 40s that need to like recognize that if they could be your child, maybe not. Anyway, I digress. But it's just this weird thing, and it's like there's a kid. He's like married and in his 20s. At work that I'm just like, he's just a kid to me, and I'm like, oh, look at this kid, and I've told him that a few times, and I'm like, I'm sorry I do that to you. It's purely out of just me being old and auntie status now. But it's just, I don't know. I just think it's so cute when I see, plus it's like, I really understand now too, when people are like, you hit a certain age and it's hard to tell how old a kid is. Cause I will see people driving cars. I'm like, there's a child.
There's a 12-year-old. Yeah.
There's
10 years old. Get off.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be driving.
Yep. And I'm like, oh no, that's a junior in high school. I'm like, oops. But it's just very like I'll see couples together. I'm like, oh, look at this young couple. I'm like, first of all, they're almost 30. They're married with a house. But I'm just like, oh, you guys are a young family. I mean, they are young, but like,
I know
they just look so young.
I know. It's true.
It's just like, oh man,
it's true.
I'm getting up there.
It's true.
Getting up there.
So many things that, it's surprising that that's the season of life we're in.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how much more it changes. Like as we hit our 50s and like, it'll be interesting the next wave of big changes.
It is surprising to me that I'm actually closer to 50 than I am to 40.
Yeah.
That's very surprising.
Yeah. Like we're very much more closer to menopause now, which will bring a whole new set of things.
Yep.
Which is just weird. It's just weird to think about, like,
yep,
hot flashes are around the corner.
I guess. My ears have been so itchy. Did you know that that's a sign?
I heard that's a sign of perimenopause.
Perimenopause. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I wake up, my ears itch. It's
weird.
It's very annoying.
I find myself scratching my ears throughout the day. I'm like, I wish I had a Q-tip. And I'm just like, oh, Lord. get started.
Hey, if you're enjoying this podcast and would like to support our show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost, so check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.